Okay, so like I said in my previous video, I still had quite a lot to say about some of the things that happen in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and a lot of them are revolving around the introduction of Gohan's new form, Gohan Beast or Beast Gohan. Now, don't worry, I'm not trying to shit on the high I know a lot of you niggas just had after watching this film. I'm not Janko, but there are quite a few astute observations that I've made regarding the current meta of Dragon Ball, and if not corrected, a lot of things that seem like oversights in this film could lead to less compelling storytelling from Dragon Ball in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, Dragon Ball Super Superhero does a great job of progressing a lot of character interactions that we don't get to see a lot of most of the time, as well as introducing a lot of fresh ideas like the Tokusatsu superheroes Gamma 1 and 2 into the series, and I'm really appreciative of that. It's very Toriyama-esque. That's what Dragon Ball is built on. That's what makes Dragon Ball so unique, because it's a miasma of different pop culture ideas. But because in 2022, Dragon Ball itself is now a very big pop culture idea, the series as a whole is beginning to become a little bit too self-referential. Just look at Gohan Blanco's whole scene. For examples, bruv, like the whole scene, like literally the whole scene is a reference. Gohan sees his green friend almost die. He flipping snaps and a red line shoots behind him. He loses control and then he gets big hair. It's like word for word, nigga, bar for bar. And while I think the imitation of the original direction for the episode where Gohan originally turns into a Super Saiyan, I think that on its own, like having the red line in the back, this is what I mean by the direction. Like the visual direction that they had for that on its own, I think is completely fine. I think that's actually a really cool way of harkening back to older fans, because Dragon Ball has become one of these franchises where people meticulously pick it apart. So using something like that as a reference, I think is actually super high level, high concept, big brain. But giving Gohan a new transformation on top of that doesn't make any sense. What is the actual purpose of giving Gohan a new transformation in this situation? The circumstances in this scene are not the same as those of the Android saga. Gohan isn't even in an emotional state when this is happening. All of his friends are fine and uninjured. The only person who's getting the shit beaten out of him is Piccolo, and Gohan is just sitting back watching him do it. At one point, he even says almost there, as in to say he needs Piccolo to get beaten to a certain point, like just beaten just enough for him to get angry enough to transform. Like that's some old bullshit. There's no urgency. There's no stakes. The transformation is just there to make some zennies. We're probably never going to see this transformation ever again. It's probably only going to appear in this one film. It didn't even get a proper explanation as to how it functions and works. We only know Gohan gets like this because he gets angry, but we don't even know if it's a Saiyan transformation or if he's using God Ki. It wouldn't even make sense if he was using God Ki, because the nigga ain't been training for like 10 years. That's the whole point of the film. So how can he accomplish a new feat when he's not even trained? And on top of that, it doesn't even look unique, because we already have a white hair transformation that's already going viral out here in these streets. What the heck? Listen, my brother in Christ. I need you to know that this scene would have looked just as spectacularly fantastic as it did in a film without a single transformation from Gohan in sight. He literally didn't need a new transformation, but they had to do it because that's the formula now, right? Like, that's what the formula is now for Dragon Ball. Nigga gets angry, nigga fights against creature, nigga loses, nigga gets angrier again, nigga's friend gets hurt, nigga sees his friend get hurt, and then he transforms and his hair goes on fire. That's the formula for Dragon Ball now. In the same way that this film is using Super Sentai and Tokusatsu cliches to form its characters Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, it is also using Dragon Ball cliches to inform the flow and the outcome of climactic moments. And I think in the long run, that's going to hurt the series. Let's be flippin' honest here, bro. If the film ended with Gohan just charging up a special beam cannon in his ultimate form, and he just wins like that, are you telling me that still wouldn't be as hard as what happened? Bro, that shit still would have been tasty as hell. If they put a little bit of spice on the animation, make him look a little bit wilder, maybe have his eyes spin in the same way, but he's still just in his regular form. God, if you tell me that's not gonna be as fantastic as the original flipping ending. But they think we don't know, guys. Like, they really think, like, these man, they really think that, like, we're not gonna be interested if there's no new transformations. The same way that they thought for the longest time that, oh, if Goku and Vegeta are not in the film, nobody's going to watch it. But this film itself proves that to be a fallacy. So I really hope that the lesson that the directors and the people in charge of the Dragon Ball franchise took away from this film is that Dragon Ball fans are ready to see these characters grow and do new things. We don't need the same plot structure every time. You can have different selection of cast, smaller scale conflicts, different characters. This is more interesting. It makes the series more lively rather than having it stagnate, repeating the same ideas over and over again. Even Gohan Blanco's design shows what will happen if these ideas continue to reiterate on themselves over and over again. At one point, it would just become a parody of itself. Like, this nigga look like Jimmy Neutron, for God's sakes, bro. He's a grown man. Why would they do this? Because they wanted him to look like he did when he first transformed into a Super Saiyan 2 when he was a little kid. But you have a daughter, bro. Respect yourself. Not to add the fact that this being a 3D model, having hair that stands that tall without any form of like animation or movement or simulation whatsoever just makes the model look stiff, when they had done a great job throughout the whole film of making all of these models look as fluid as possible. They've literally harmed their artistry for the sake of one reference that was already made clear because of the visual direction that they chose to emulate. Like, what the hell, bro? This is what makes me scared about this sort of thing, because then it makes me question, wait, do you understand why what you referenced worked in the first place? Like, any Dragon Ball fan, this was obviously supposed to be a deep cut reference. Any Dragon Ball fan would have understood what he was trying to do from the red stripe across the screen alone. You didn't need to make him transform again for us to get it, bro. I do this shit. I am Dragon Ball. Like, I have a Dragon Ball in my forehead, like Sin Shenron again. Even super sick ideas like Cell Max. The actual idea of Cell Max, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever because it's totally realistic. Think about it from a realistic perspective. If there was a huge company, they made a flipping biological weapon and it got destroyed, and the son of the nigga who ran that shit is still alive, what's he gonna do first, bro? He's gonna try and recreate the same shit, but he's not got the same tools, so he's gonna make one that's fake. That's hard, bro. But why does it have to look like Second Form Cell? I do like some of the subtle changes that Akira Toriyama made, like making his tail a club and making his shoes more like boots rather than those croissant shoes that everybody in Dragon Ball Z has for some reason. But if I'm being very honest with myself, I think those additions were made because Akira Toriyama just forgot what Cell looks like, bro. I think this nigga just forgot what Cell looks like and he tried to draw Second Form Cell again, and he just changed some things because he forgot what the nigga looked like, bro. But what if we let this man just make something new altogether, bro? Wouldn't that have been way more sick? And then it's like a real Super Sentai fight. Like, what if Cell Max looked a little bit more like Godzilla? because he wasn't fully formed or something like that. Like that's all the explanation that you need. And then you're having a tokusatsu fight against a flipping monster who's supposed to be Cell, but it's like an incomplete version of Cell. Like that's just hard, bro. Even the fan art from that, people would draw. Like you know how people always try to make shit cute in fan art. Like people could draw the incomplete Cell being looked after by the real Cell. Like, bro, this would have made things a lot more interesting. But they keep trying to rehash ideas because they think nostalgia sells, and to be honest, it does. But if it's done in a tasteful way, I think people would appreciate it way more. And it's just way more artistic, bruh. Dragon Ball is artistic. It's an artistic series, bro. Be artistic, be tasteful with this shit, bruh. But I don't even want you lot to take this video the wrong way. I'm not saying that this film is stagnant and it's repeating all of the same ideas. In fact, quite the contrary. I'm very happy with this film because it treads on new ground and new waters for a lot of the characters in this franchise. But when I see small little instances of just, that bad habit, when somebody's trying to stop smoking and they just catch them having a little when they've nearly gotten off, bro. That's what Gohan Blanco is, bro. That's what Gohan flipping Beast Gohan is. It's just that little whiff for the cigar when they've been doing so well to almost get off. Or even the e-cigarette here and there, bro. Like, they're so close to just being completely original, bro. And let me not even mention their cousin, the manga, bro. When I see what this man Toyotaro is doing with this nigga Frieza, bro. Oh yeah, I want to go train a little bit more. And now I'm stronger than your new forms again. Like, bro, that nigga, I need to do another video on that nigga, what he's doing. But I don't even be reading the manga enough to be keeping up with that shit because it pisses me off. But yeah, man, let's be more like Dragon Ball Superhero and let's like the manga, bro, going forward. Of course, as the franchise begins to grow, more people enter it, and there's more creatives. Some of the older ones are going to rehash older ideas, and not even necessarily. It doesn't have to do with age. Just some people who are incompetent might just repeat the same shit again because that's what they liked about the series. But there will always be people who are entering into the ecosystem of the Dragon Ball creative space who understand what they've been consuming over this long period of time, nearly 40 years now, and will be able to create something inspiring like that Dragon Ball fan film that came out, Dragon Ball Legends. And even though there are some new ideas that maybe people will not like for example, me, I personally just don't like how that new transformation that was displayed in that film looks visually, but it's exciting, it's new and it's fresh and it keeps the series going. And I'm not scared of the series stagnating to the point of concluding. It's like one of the most lucrative properties ever in life. But I sure would prefer to have a whole lot more of this and a whole lot less of that, if you catch my drift. Yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had to say regarding this topic. What did you lot think about this discussion? Please put your thoughts down in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video. If you didn't like the video, you can still like it. It's a very easy, good, simple, good Samaritan task that you can just do for your brother in Christ. Just for free. Just a free thing that will just make my day better. God bless you for it. Anyways, thanks very much for your time. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this. So yeah, God bless.